Okay, well, I had some issues with the GoPro when I was filming yesterday's Walk Around the Compound webcast, and there was a lot of buzzing and crackling noises that were persisting throughout the entire thing, so I had to download some new software for the GoPro, but then when I did that, the audio and the video weren't in sync, so I had to then reformat my SD card, and I'm having to do multiple tests out in my yard, walking around and making noises and little quiet, like now I'm talking into the camera. Hopefully the sound matches up. I had to do stuff like that. And I think that it's working now, so that's good. So here we go. Jezebel over here. Jezebel's a little bit sick and thinking that she may have something called pyometra, which is a uterine infection, and getting her a little bit feeling not so great, and we've got her on antibiotics right now to try to hopefully knock that out of her system. It can be not the most pleasant thing in the world, but lucky for us is that she still seems to be in pretty decent spirits, and she's up and she's snuffly and she likes to eat, and that's good. Hi, Sugar Pie. Hi, Vivi. Hi, Jez. Hi, Jezzy Jez. DJ Jezzy Jez. Getting thrown out by Uncle. Getting thrown out by Uncle Carl. So she's got some, some ickiness that's kind of going on, but it seems like what she's got is going to be, treatable. Then there's Elly. Elly, on the other hand, is certainly not doing the greatest right now. There she is. She's in her den box. Basically wanting to be left alone and being relatively, very antisocial. Not snuffling, not really showing any significant signs of vim and vigor. Not hungry. She doesn't seem to be in an exceptional amount of pain. She doesn't seem to be exhibiting any signs that she's got an internal blockage, obstruction, or that she's like internally septic or anything like that. I mean, honestly, if that were the case, then if we were to go back in the timeline of when she started to become a little bit sick, then with those types of conditions, she probably wouldn't have made it to this point. So, we've been keeping Dr. Bill posted, and he's come out to see her, and he gave her medicine, stuff called Banamine, which is it acts as a pain reliever for tigers. It's a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory as well, and we were hoping that would kind of maybe knock her out of the funk, but it didn't, and she's still just kind of, just not 100%, not herself. Jezebel and Elly and Zeus, they're old. They're old cats. Elly and Jezebel are almost 17. They're only a couple months away from their 17th birthday. They're turning into little old biddies. Driving the car to church on Sundays and going to the grocery store, and then that's it. 17 is the average captive shelf life. It's like once you can get them to 17, that's a good benchmark. That's a good place to be. Past that, it's certainly not unheard of to get cats past 17, even up to 20. But anything past 17 is kind of borrowed time. A lot of times when they get old and when they know that their time has come and they start shutting down, they start acting kind of like Elly. They just know, deep inside. Now it doesn't mean that we're not going to try what we can to help her, but at the same time, we're not going to be invasive, about the whole thing. We're not going to like keep on darting her and injecting her, and that stresses her out, every single time that happens, and we're not going to just, cut her open to do some sort of exploratory surgery, which that in and of itself would more than likely, cause her to die. You have to realize when you're working with cats, when you're working with big cats, lions and tigers, there are these very clear logistical concerns that come into play. When you have a dog or a cat that gets sick, you can just take them to a vet, and without even sedating them or doing anything of that sort, the vet can pick puppy or kitty up and can feel their insides. They can move their joints around, and they can do things, and they can make certain diagnoses. But with the cats, we can't exactly go inside and do that. So sometimes the only time that we really can get truly close diagnosis of the animals is when they get sedated, is when we put them under. Then you have the additional logistical concern of the fact that Elly and Jezzebell are very old. They're tremendously old for tigers, and sedation just in and of itself, that's a risky endeavor. One, because you have to put them down low enough to where they're not going to get up, because that's a dangerous place to be in. And then two, you have to not put them so far down that their systems start to shut down. And all different animals react differently to sedation. No one set of drugs, no one cocktail of drugs is the same. Dr. Bill, he's got his own various concoctions that he knows and utilizes for individual cats, individual species of animals, males and females, sizes, all sorts of different types of things. And the risk goes up when they get old. But if we were to only be doing like a minor procedure, like, removing a chipped tooth or even removing like an eyeball, like what happened with Solano and Savannah, believe it or not, those are, you're talking about more external features being operated upon, but what we would have to be then looking at is more internal structures. And again, with Elly's age, it's almost a guarantee that if we were to have to open up her abdominal cavity, she wouldn't be able to make it through either the surgery itself or the subsequent recovery process. And that's just something that we're not willing to undertake. And we don't want to move her out of this enclosure, because we don't want to take her away from Zeus, and we don't want to take her away from Jezzebell, because Zeus and Jezzebell, that's her comfort zone. That's all that she's known. Arctic is saying feed me right now. But that's all that Elly's known. Her whole life. So we're left with a limited set of options based on the symptoms that we observe, and based on her behavior, and based on her reaction to the treatment that we've already given her. And the fact that this is just that time, you know, it's that time when things can most definitely happen. When cancer starts happening, when kidney failure starts happening, and when you've got those things that are going on, especially internally, there's nothing you can do. So, as new information presents itself, we keep on trying to help her out as much as possible. But at this point, we have to sincerely consider the distinct possibility that Elly is not going to be with us for much longer. She had a good life here. She had a good life, and who knows? This might just be hey, I'm not feeling good. I just have some tummy issues, and I'm gonna shake these cobwebs off. At this point, it's doubtful that that's the case, but you never know. But yeah. It's more than likely her sunset time. So yeah, just wanted to let you all know that. Take care. Bye-bye.